Hello there, I'm Coach Kim. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Please hit subscribe and leave some comments on this video if you care to. That would be awesome. I wanted to talk a little bit today about communication. Is it you or them when it comes to miscommunication? This is a question I deal with a lot with clients. I think communication is probably one of the biggest challenges for us as business owners. And most of us just never learned how to communicate very well. It's just not something we're taught, and it should be. It's like the number one skill. I think if we all had this skill, we would probably all do so much better with our lives in general, not just running our business. But if you have employees and you feel like you keep giving them instructions and they keep disobeying you, or they keep doing something different, or they're just not doing what you want them to do, this is a very common problem. I get this question a lot from clients, and my first question is usually, well, is it with one employee or is it with several employees? And if it's with several employees, that tells me it's probably you, right? You're the common denominator. If everybody is misunderstanding what you're saying, or nobody's getting what you're saying, then it's probably the way you're saying it. You're not direct, you're not clear. Maybe you aren't clear about what you're wanting to do. Maybe you're trying to figure it out on the fly, and then that comes across all kind of wishy-washy. And that is very frustrating to employees. So that would be my first place to start, is how many people are saying this to you, or how many people are not doing what you say you want them to do. If it's just one person, then that's a little bit different. So a lot of times with small business owners, especially, they tend to think people don't do what they say, don't do what they want them to do, just to piss them off. And I'm like, I don't think so. Like, I have never had a job where I wanted to make my boss angry on purpose. Just never happened. Most clients that I have and team members that I work with, I've done this for 12 years now. I don't think I've ever had one employee say, yeah, I just want to make him mad or make her mad, so I'm just purposely not doing what they tell me to do. No, they usually have a reason. And so that's usually where I suggest you start. Ask them what they heard you say, and you can do this in the moment, right? So give somebody instruction. I need you to, take this package to this place, deliver this, and then go over here and pick this up, and then come right back here because we're having another delivery that has to go out. And ask the person in the moment, okay, what did you just hear me tell you to do? And maybe you even write it down. Some people need to have it actually written down, or they can write it down, but these are all things that you can figure out from getting to know your employees. So you can ask them, so what did you hear me to do? And they can explain back to you what they heard you say, and then you can check it out. Did they get it right? Did I say it correctly? Right? Sometimes we misspeak and we say something wrong. So that's a good first place to start. The second place is, if they did that and then they still did it wrong, ask them when you realize it was wrong, basically what happened. Why? You seemed clear when you left here. You said to do this, this, and this, and then you did this, this, and this instead. Tell me why, what your thinking was, and what happened. And usually what it is that they just think they have a better idea, or they don't have enough information to go on. So they just don't think it really matters if they do it that way or not. Sometimes they're not even told that this is how I need you to do this. You cannot deviate. You have to do it this way. And sometimes we have to be that clear and explicit. I had a client who, she had a certain way she liked the process done in her bakery, and her employees would consistently keep doing it a different way, even though she would sit down and she would show them, do it this way, do it this way, do it this way. When she finally asked them about it, it turns out that they didn't know that that was how they were supposed to do it. They just thought this was an example of how to do it, and that they had kind of carte blanche to do it however they wanted. But once we got that clear, and they were like, oh, I have to do it this way because this is more efficient. We have found this actually works better. Explaining that to them really helped. So that's the other piece. So if you discover that they're doing it a different way just because they don't think they have to do it a way you want them to do it, give them the reason why. It's kind of like when you're growing up, if you did something, right, and your parents got mad at you, and you're like, well, why can't I do that? Because I told you so. That was the worst answer ever, because you're like, makes no sense to me. Because, okay, you're the boss, I guess, right? You're the parent, but if I can understand why you're making these choices and these decisions and instructing me in a certain way, then that helps me learn how you're thinking. And then I can make better decisions in the future about how you probably want things done, being the owner of the company. So ask questions, get curious, don't just make assumptions. That's the biggest downfall I think that most of us have, is that we just jump to conclusions about why somebody is doing something. And we've already, we're often running with that excuse in our head. And a lot of times I've seen people almost get fired over these things. And when they finally sat down, because they were so mad about something that one of their employees did, when we finally sat down and talked about it, they realized that they didn't realize they had screwed up that bad, that they were trying to do it the right way, just wasn't the right way. But they did not know, like they truly did not know that it made that big of a difference. So take a breath, ask questions, get curious. If it is a number of employees that are not doing what you tell them to do, you are the common denominator. You are the problem. They are not. Ask them as a group. You can do it as a group. How can I communicate more clearly? Because I feel like I'm being clear, but all of you are not doing what I'm telling you to do. And so obviously it's me. So how can I do this better? Get coaching, read books on, actively listening and communication. If you're a certain disc style, you're going to be more indirect. You got to learn how to be direct, especially as a leader. And not like, yelling at people and authoritatively direct, but just more direct. This is what I need you to do. Please do not do it differently from this. We have learned that this is the most efficient way to do it. It will save you time. It will save us time. It'll save you headaches. You'll be able to do this more easily. It'll be less frustrating, all that good stuff. So just be clear, be clear, be clear, be clear, be direct. Okay. All right. Good luck with that. Hope that helps. And I will see you soon.